friends, and greetings for the day. Welcome back to another tutorial on ISTQB Test Automation Engineer Certification. We are in Chapter 2, Preparation for the Test Automation, and looking at the next topic is 2.2, Tool Evaluation and Selection. In this topic, we already know a lot from the foundation from the last chapter, that what is tool selection procedure and what are the steps involved or the pre-considerations before adapting a tool within the organization for any particular project. And of course, it is the main major responsibility of the test manager to do this activity and make sure to select the tool. But of course, the manager cannot alone take all the decisions. It of course requires some kind of input from the test engineer as well. So that's where the test automation engineer will be involved in supplying information to the automation manager or the test manager, in fact, who will be taking decisions about the tool evaluation and selection. At the same time, all the several activities like conducting a POC or determining what process improvements are required, whether this tool will fit into the process or not, what is the organization maturity, all these activities will be supported with help of the test automation engineer. So of course there are a lot of activities right from the foundation we know, which you can look on the screen as well, like assessing organizational maturity and identification of the opportunities for the tool to support, assessing appropriate objectives for the test tool support, identifying and collecting information on potentially suitable tools, analyzing tool information against objective and project constraints, as making sure that whether this tool will be able to meet the objectives or not, what we are looking for, estimating the cost benefit ratio, making a recommendation on the appropriate tool, identifying the compatibility of the tool with the SUT components, which is critically important for the project. On the other side, we are looking at evaluation. Then definitely during the evaluation, that means while conducting a proof of concept, several things will come up and you will be analyzing a lot of issues which need to be addressed during that time. Subjected if these issues can be reduced or maybe addressed, then you can adapt the tool. What if the tool is incapable of reducing those kind of issues? Then of course you will look for some other tool as an option for your project. So some of the issues is being listed here, but of course it's not all the thing what we need to talk about. There's a big list. Subjected you try with something with a different application, probably you have a different story to tell about. So here is some of the quick things which I would like to read out for you, and I think they are very straightforward to understand. We have three things here, like findings, examples of that, and possible solutions. Possible solutions, subjected the application meets those criteria. If not, you cannot do that. So the tools interface does not work with other tools that are already in place. Example, the test management tool has been updated and the connected interface has changed. Now, other example is the information from pre-sale support was wrong and not all data can be transferred to the reporting too. So generally it is about the integration and interface exchange between two tools. So possible solution is pay attention to the release notes before any updates, or for big migration tests before migrating to production. Try to gain an on-site demonstration of the tool that uses the real SUT. So that means you can talk to the vendor who is supporting you with the tool, and getting a training from them would be more beneficial. Seek support from the vendor or the user community forums. The second one is object on GUI could not be captured. These are very common issues which we generally find. The object is visible, but the test automation tool cannot interact with it. So possibly there are certain areas like the properties which are not well defined, or if it is not the property, then the technology which is not going to support you. So do a pilot project before buying the test automation tool. Have developers define standards for the objects. So either way, you need to resolve it. Moving further, we do have some of them here, like tool looks very complicated to use. Of course, that will create a constraint for user friendliness and take a long time for understanding the tool before you can start using it. So the example include the tool has a huge feature set, but only part of it can be used. So why do we have unwanted options? So why need to have such a heavy tool? So possible solution include try to find a way to limit the feature set by removing unwanted features from the toolbar. Select a license to meet your needs. try to find alternative tools that are more focused on the required functionality. So we do have these provisions in a lot of the automation, trending automation tools, which gives you the provision of eliminating the options which you're not interested in and reducing the cost as well. Conflict with other systems, yeah, that can be an issue from the compatibility. After installation of the other software, the test automation tool will not work anymore, or vice versa. In that case, read the release notes or technical requirements before installing it. Get confirmation from the supplier that there will be no impact to the other tools, and question user community forums which can support you on the live series. Impact on the SUT, the application itself, that means during or after use of the test automation tool, the SUT is reacting differently. That means longer response time and so on. So use a tool that will not need to change the SUT, like installation of libraries and certain things like open source can be one best option for you. Access to the code, the test automation tool will change part of the source of the code. Then use a tool that will not need to change the source code, or example like installation of the libraries, that could be another part of it, or creating a temporary files which are being deployed while executing the test. So that's all from this particular tutorial team. We'll be having another tutorial from this chapter coming back to you soon. So I think that was quite clear to you. Should you have any query, feel free to comment below. I'll be there to address your queries. Till then, keep learning, keep exploring, and keep understanding about the topic. Thanks for watching the video team. Happy learning.